Mmm, cold coffee. Hey, hi, it's me again. Your friend, your best friend, your only friend. Here with more earth-shattering news. I've got a question for some people out there. How much money have you sent James the Amazing Randi? How much money have you sent him today? You know, he's got his hand out. He's got his hand out there. He really needs the money. So he can go on fighting me, the evil homeopath, robbing everyone of their senses. You know, I haven't really got to the money part, but you know, I'm working on it. You know, I'm working on it. I'm screwing some people out of some money here, just as soon as I can. But seriously, who's really running a scam here? You know, he's offering $1 million to prove homeopathy. But if you look at his written offer, it's not a legal offer. You just watch the legal analysis of the $1 million contract by an attorney here on YouTube. You know, well, I'll put a link in the text field so you can see it for yourself. You know, this is this is wild that someone would come along with such an obviously phony offer, and so many chumps would fall for it. You know, I applied for this thing 12 years ago. You know, when I didn't know any better, and when Randi refused to put my application to the test, I called the bank that he had it in, Goldman Sachs. He said he had it in Goldman Sachs, where he reportedly had his account for this $1 million, and they clammed up. And then they ordered Randi to take their name off his website. He was going around telling everybody how he had $1 million in Goldman Sachs. You know, and then Randi got mad and accused me of ruining his organization. And then he had a heart attack and started selling pens dipped in homeopathic gold. You know, what we call aurum metallicum, which is Latin for gold, is the homeopathic energetic extraction of gold, which is the #1 homeopathic remedy for heart problems and depression. So this is just to give you a taste of what a con artist this guy is. And I say con artist rather than con man, you know, because you know, he's really pretty good at it. He's really pretty good at tricking people here. I mean, he's done a huge scam on people. Massive scam. It's a massive scam because it's robbing people of their senses about this. Homeopathic medicine is what we should be using in place of what we now use as mainstream medicine, what we call allopathic medicine. Homeopathic medicine is far superior to allopathic medicine. It just doesn't, you know, it just doesn't make as much money. It makes like a fraction of the amount of money. It makes an infinitesimal amount of the money that allopathic medicine does, which is the only reason that there is an allopathic medicine, is for money. It's not to help you. It's not to cure you. It's to screw you out of your money. Anyway, back on Randi. Everybody knows this guy loves tricking people. But even so, he's been apparently able to fool a lot of people into believing that he's actually going to give $1 million to anyone who can prove him wrong. Have you seen his so-called debunking of homeopathy on one of those TED seminars? You can watch it right here on YouTube. I'll put a link to it in the text field. This is where he takes an overdose of over-the-counter sleeping pills that are labeled as being homeopathic. You know, but they're not homeopathic. They aren't. The pills he takes aren't homeopathic. They're full of passion flower juice. That's not homeopathic. Not for sleeping. Not for going to sleep. If it was homeopathic, it would probably have just the opposite effect. Make it... No homeopath would prescribe that. I have a degree in it. There's no such thing as a homeopathic sleeping pill. It doesn't exist. That's not how homeopathy works. Hello? Hello, this is a birthday party magician trying to get an audience of people who have paid thousands of dollars per seat at the TED. You know, what does that stand for anyway? Technology, entertainment, deception, TED, TED. You can see the video here on YouTube. There's full of them. You know, people get up there and they do something that's so poignant or something. Everybody goes, "Oh God," you know. Anyway, you know, after you paid $1,000 per seat, you're ready to believe anybody and anything. But look what he's doing. He's telling people that you can take a whole bottle of sleeping pills and it won't harm you. This is a magician standing up there, you know, pouring this whole bottle of sleeping pills, you know, drinking some water, and what to wash it down with. And he's telling everybody, "Oh, you can do this." Well, very few people really understand what homeopathy is, okay? I mean, it's like, in fact, these aren't homeopathic sleeping pills, so it's like, that's just confusing people. All right? I mean, if he really wants to put these things as a test, he'd put it to a scientific test, or he'd just show people the biochemical tests. See, you can't do that because the biochemical tests actually prove that these substances have biological action. You know, he's telling people, don't read the instructions, don't read the directions. That's just the government trying to confuse you. It's passion flower juice. It's not homeopathic. Not for sleeplessness. Listen, a couple of years ago, or I should say a couple of years later, after he was doing this, after repeated overdoses of these pills, this same guy, James the Amazing Randi, got a rare form of stomach cancer. And this is a man who goes around the country with his hand out to raise money for his nonprofit organization, which is bragging. He's bragging about how he's got $1 million in the bank to give to anyone who can prove something to him and him alone. Only on one condition, only on the condition that the contract can't be adjudicated in a court of law in the event of a dispute. Well, look at it this way. This man is making a huge offer, but writes into the contract that there'll be no judging of it in the case of a dispute. Or look at it this way. If homeopathy is such a scam, then why doesn't he take it to court? Why isn't he suing the manufacturers of homeopathic medicine for fraud? He says right on his YouTube videos that homeopathy is a scam. Really? Okay, well, if it's a scam, then where's the class action suit against it? You know, how come Randi isn't making $1 million from all the damages from the fraud, the teeming millions who have been deceived in this cruel hoax? Explain that to me. Why didn't he sue him years ago? Why is he still running around the world begging for money from you and me when he could be out suing these people when instead of offering this phony challenge? He could use that same money to hire attorneys with, okay, to shut homeopathy down for good. Get it off the shelves. He says he's got $1 million cash in the bank. Oh yeah. Actually, he says when you read it, it's negotiable bonds. But I mean, what the hell is that? What the hell are negotiable bonds? Nobody uses those things anymore. What, they're drawn on the Bank of Venezuela? Venezuela, oh Venezuela. Just recently, his domestic partner, Jose, got thrown in jail for identity fraud. So what's that going to cost Randi? Several $100,000? You know, big case, felony. And that's not the only problem they got. Jose was the secretary of his organization, the James Randi Educational Foundation. Randi's domestic partner, his real name is David Pina, better known as Jose Alvarez, was arrested and convicted of identity fraud. He's an illegal alien from Venezuela. Venezuela, oh Venezuela, how I love thee in my heart and destiny. This all began 30 years ago. That's when he stole somebody's name, some guy in New York named Jose Luis Venezuela, Jose Luis Alvarez, and stole his social security number so he could get a passport to go to Australia, where he and Randi pulled off the Carlos scam. It's the same guy. You can watch the video right here again on YouTube. These idiots pretending to be psychics. So, in other words, James the Amazing Randi's organization had knowingly hired an illegal alien. Where's the state? Where's the Florida State Attorney on this? Mr. Attorney, where are you? Why aren't you enforcing the law on this? Hiring the illegal aliens. Well, it's better than picking grapes. You know, see, Randi knew. He said he knew Alvarez's real name. He said he knew Alvarez's real name was David Pina. He called him that. He used to call him Davy Pina. Guy used to carry his bags at the Toronto airport. Yeah. And Randi said he saw the passport. He saw David Pina's passport. The one they ditched for the Jose Luis Alvarez passport. Of course he did. Of course he knew. He helped him get it. Randi helped Pina get the passport. Randi helped Pina with the name change. He knew all about it. He probably engineered it. So listen, I know how we can do this. Now, I mean, am I supposed to believe that this stage magician who can't sleep at night without knowing he's tricked, fooled, or ripped somebody off didn't engineer this whole identity theft, fraud, and scam? Of course he did! This is all being funded by a multi-billionaire. See, who's kind of the shadowy character who hides in the background. Hat Man, you know, the shadow man, hides in the background of Randi's organization. Guy by the name of Richard Adams. He's a multi-billionaire. He's the founder of UUNet. UUNet is the backbone for the internet. So this guy's rolling in dough. He's rolling in dough like a wet donut rolls in powdered sugar. And Adams has been the treasurer of the James Randi Educational Foundation, the same man who they say put up the $1 million for Randi's challenge to homeopathy and other things. Now, are there any conflicts of interest here? You know, look, you know, if you find one, you're going to find another. It's what they do. Does Adams have an investment in something that's competing with homeopathy? I mean, could that be possibly in his portfolio? If we were to take a look in his portfolio, what would it say? His stock portfolio? Maybe he owns, you know, like 1 million shares in Bayer aspirin or something. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do I know? I'm just a stupid, crazy homeopath. All right? Can this be construed as unfair competition, do you think? Solicitation of malice? So here's how it could work. They tell Jose that they need someone to act as a secretary of this organization of Randi's. And they say to him, hey, look, you'll be well paid. And you'll be well taken care of. We'll have your health plan, you know, your IRA and you know, your 501c3 and all your 401k, whatever, you know, lots of chocolate, okay? And all the phone calls to Venezuela, my love is Venezuela. But if you reveal the secrets of this organization, you're going back to Venezuela, beautiful Venezuela. And you'll be going back. Listen to me. You're going back in the inner tube that you came here in. Got that? Good! Okay, so here's my big question to all of the belly-crawling, slathering supporters of James the Amazing Debunker. How much money have you sent him? I mean, come on. You know, you're such big fans of his. How much money have you sent him today, huh? Who's being suckered here? Tell me. Teach me. Bring me into the light. How much money have you sent him?